Good evening and welcome to Arizona Illustrated for Tuesday, the 18th of December, 2012. I'm Tony Paniagua. Experts across the country are concerned about the high number of men and women who are taking their own lives after having served in the military. According to statistics, almost 20% of the nation's suicides occur among veterans. But members of a new community-based grant-funded project called Rally Point are hoping to help win what they call the war at home. Here is Mark McLemore to tell us more.
And joining us now to discuss a new program called Rally Point that's designed to help veterans who are in suicide crisis, we've got Dan Ranieri from La Frontera. He's the president and CEO of that organization, and Abel Moreno, who's a veteran who now works to help other vets deal with these issues. So Dan, outline for us what you are calling the war at home.
Well, our La Frontera's mission is to solve complex community problems. So I was approached by some friends and colleagues, one active military, another a veteran, to ask what La Frontera could do to help deal with the crisis of veterans returning from the military who are facing a host of different problems. Along with that, the suicide epidemic that we're seeing in veterans and active military. And that's where it all started.
You gave me a very alarming statistic before when we were talking about the rate at which veterans, we heard the 20%, but tell us.
Well, an active military member takes their own life every day, and about 18 veterans per day. Now that covers various different wars, but most of those are the recent wars that are Iran and Iraq.
Well, Abel, outline briefly for us how you got into this situation. Why are you helping?
Well, first of all, being a veteran, it's near and dear to my heart in regards to what I experienced in coming home, my struggles being a veteran. And to really identify what that is, whether it be, post-traumatic stress disorder, whether it be interacting with those around me and those who veterans may be interacting with in their lives. How this came about was, as Dr. Ranieri just pointed out to you, this was an idea that came pretty much from him and a few other of his colleagues, and I was approached about it. And I believe for what we do in regards to La Frontera as a whole, we've been able to be community problem solvers throughout Tucson. The veterans issue only made sense in order for us to tackle it, to provide that kind of help that is necessary for the veterans in this community. So that's how I got to be in the picture.
Well, what special concerns or cares do you need when dealing with veterans about suicide? I mean, how is Rally Point set up to help them specifically?
Specifically, what we have is a group of services, but moreover, we have a crisis hotline that is Rally Point's main thing that we're putting out right now, especially for the holiday season. And I think that's one of the things that makes us so interactively different with the veterans programs you're seeing. Obviously, there are different crisis lines out there, but in the services in which we provide, that's probably the main thing we have going with us, next to the things we do in the community as well.
And who will be manning those hotline calls?
Right now we're working with a group of veterans who are at the end of those calls, and those who've been trained in suicide preventative measures that are going to be assisting in getting those calls and just getting the word out, number one.
Dr. Ranieri, what would you like to add about the way that Rally Point is set up?
Well, I think one of the keys is this veteran population. First, you have to get them in your doors, literally or figuratively. You have to get them to call. And secondly, you have to be effective in what you do. And one of the ways of getting people to approach us to effectively deal with them is to having veterans providing services to other veterans. And that's really been a key. And we're trying to do that in a host of different areas. And the second part of that is the problems that they bring to the table aren't all that different from what we see with other folks, but there's a military culture that contributes to it, and in fact lends a sense of urgency that you might not otherwise see. If we have military veterans or military family members providing the services, they understand that sense of urgency and that culture and can better get their foot in the door and influence the process.
Well, to anyone who may be facing a crisis this holiday season, how do they get in contact with you?
The crisis line number is 1-855-725-5948 or 1-855-RALLY, the number 4,
Rally.
the letter U.
Okay. Well, thanks for spending your time with us, and happy holidays to you both.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Residents in Arizona are trying to build a new World War II memorial just east of the Capitol in Phoenix. And this week, we are introducing you to some of the World War II veterans from Arizona who are sharing their memories. Next, Michael Chiha speaks to a man who served in the U.S. Army and was stationed at Pearl Harbor in 1941.
You were at Pearl Harbor and you survived it. Tell us about that day.
Well, that day I happened to be in Schofield Barracks. My outfit was out at Mokopu Point building barracks out there next to Kaneohe Naval Air Station. But I had a chance to get to Schofield Barracks because I had a lot of show stubs to get rid of. And so I was in the barracks Sunday morning, and our building was right next to Wheeler Field, our quadrangle. And on the second floor, I heard this noise, bang, 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 and we all ran to the porch to look up, and we see these planes flying overhead with the red disc on. And next thing you know, we see them dropping what we thought were flour sacks, because the Red Force always would go on maneuvers and fight the Blue Force. And when they dropped the flour sacks, it would knock a radius out of so much. But in this time, when what we thought were flour sacks coming down, they were bombs. And they hit the mess hall, where they killed 200 or 300 people at the mess hall, and blew it up. And it went right up in the air, like, and come apart of the air. Then we knew what was what. So we scampered around and got dressed, and there was only like about 8 of us there out of 198. There was only about 8 of us in the building at the time. And then we got out into the quadrangle. And then as the planes come back strafing, we took off running for the building. Well, thank God they didn't have any more bombs left, you know. And that was about it until we got some ammunition and so forth.
How did you feel about that? Were you fearful?
We were so busy, I guess we never even stopped to feel about anything, really. We was running around getting ammunition. Next thing we know, we was out digging foxholes out in the quadrangle to get out of the buildings. And as we was digging, one of the fellows there, his name was Emery Pratt, he took off firing at this plane. I said, "Hey, Pratt, what the hell are you firing at?" I said, "I'm firing at that plane." I said, "Well, you damn fool, that's our plane." "How the hell am I supposed to know?" he said. And that's the way it was. Lieutenant Taylor, that shot down 4 planes that died here in Tucson 3 or 4 years ago, he was the one that shot down 4 planes that day. And that day, those few planes that got off from Bellows Field, there was a little emergency field out there that Japs didn't know about. And these few planes was out there. I think 4 planes was out there. And Taylor shot down 4, and one fellow shot down 2. And that's about the way it was, really.
And so then in subsequent days, what did you do? What were your duties?
Right after the attack, and all the fellas, they all came in from Mokopu to Schofield. We all got organized and so forth. And we had all kinds of rumors going around. The Japs had landed here, the Japs had landed there, and so forth. And we had a lot of Japanese fellas in our outfit, you know, that we came in with the draft. And some of them, Miyake, Kuroda, Hasegawa, and those fellows, they were like brothers to us, you know. And so that's about the way it was that particular night. And the next day we went out to different positions, and I was assigned to go to the top of the Pali there, and in case the Japanese had landed on that side of the island where the good beaches were, because they couldn't land at Waikiki because the beach was only, you've been there, you know how wide the beach is there. And so they wanted to get into Honolulu. I would sit on the plunger there for 1 month in case the Japanese landed. I was to blow the pass. And that Snake Road down would have blocked them up and kept them out from Honolulu, where all the munition was stored in Diamond Head. But they never came back, and so that was it. You know about the rest of the story.
When did you realize what devastation had been done to the Navy fleet at Pearl Harbor?
Oh, well, of course, we saw it every day, you know, as we go by and forth to build the pillboxes. That was, as I said, that was our area. We'd go back and forth, and some of the ships were still burning and so forth. And
for days and days?
Yeah.
And did you have an awareness of how many men were killed there?
No, we never kind of got that information, you know. We was all like separate units and so forth, you know. And so that's what we did for several months, and then until we got ready to go to New Zealand, and then it ended up in Guadalcanal.
And you spent the rest of the war in combat on those islands throughout the Pacific?
In Guadalcanal, all through till the combat was over with in Guadalcanal. Of course, the only thing after that was the airplane raids and stuff like that. I think June 16th, they had 100 planes come over that day, and we counted for 96 of them. They apparently it was a suicide mission, and they figured the other 4 just crashed in the ocean someplace where they couldn't account for.
Now tell me about your enlistment in the Army, because that's an interesting story.
Well, I first went in the Army in April 1936, and I was 14 years old.
And how did you pull that off?
Well, I just lied about my age and had my mother sign my certificate. I was big then, as I am now, and as I said, I was well trained in as much that I never had to go through recruit training or anything like that. It's because my father had been a recruiting sergeant from World War I, and I could drill a battalion at 14 years old, or twirl a rifle, spin a rifle, toss a rifle, or anything. And so that was my first start. I used to go in the maneuvers up in Plattsburgh, and the Catskills and stuff like that. That was when I was in the infantry, 103rd Infantry.
Now we meet a World War II pilot who spoke to us during a visit to the Pima Air and Space Museum last year. This story was produced by Tom Gillespie and photojournalist Martin Rubio.
If you could pick up a radar image on this, it would be about the size of a turkey engine. And lastly,
we get about 150,000 visitors a year. We've been in existence since May of 1976, so 35 years now, and we're coming up on 300 aircraft in the collection. The Pima Air Museum is one of the country, and dare say one of the world's most premier aviation science and technology museums. Most other major air and space museums all have a very sort of specific collections focus, be it the history of the United States Air Force or the Navy, whereas we aren't constrained by that, so we can represent all facets of air and space technology and history. The vast majority of our visitors are from outside of the Tucson and Arizona region. Probably 75% of our visitors are from other parts of the United States.
You didn't know you'd be doing all this, did you?
One of those visitors is Max Mason from Fresno, California.
No.
For the entirety of World War II, Mason piloted a flying boat, the PBM Mariner.
I love flying the boat so much because you not only had to be a good pilot to survive, you had to be a good sailor.
On any given day, probably 1 out of every 10 people coming through the door here has probably had some direct personal association with any number of the aircraft here, be it pilots, engineers, mechanics, flight crew, cabin crew, you name it.
Aloft over and afloat in both the Atlantic and Pacific, his final flight in the PBM was interrupted on the last day of the war, when Japan surrendered.
PJ we took off on a regular air sea rescue flight. We had a crew from 9 to 11. I don't know how many we had that day, but I remember the chatter was going back and forth on the intercom, and everybody was just hilarious.
While airborne, the PBM Mariner was essentially a boat that could bomb. Outfitted with machine guns and 4,000 pounds of either bombs or depth charges, it could also be outfitted with torpedoes. Not surprisingly, its targets were often submarines. Since the Mariner could float, as well as fly nearly 3,000 miles, it was often used in the recovery of downed aviators and for reconnaissance. More than 1,300 PBMs were constructed and saw action in both World War II and Korea. The only surviving plane is at the Pima Air and Space Museum.
I've been reading in our newsletters how they've been restoring it for a dozen years, I think. So I wanted to see it. And so that's why I came to Tucson. I continued flying until 5 years ago, actively flying. I flew a lot. Loved it, still would. I can still drive my car 60,000 miles a year all over the highways of America, that's okay, but the FAA pulls my flying license.
The aircraft, nearly all picture-worthy, are displayed throughout the 200 acres the nonprofit museum maintains.
For the most part, we try to represent the diversity of air and space technology as much as possible and where practical. We've obviously got a high burden of care, it's a lot of responsibility, so we want to be careful what we add to the collection by making sure it's unique, significant, and interesting to our visitors.
The greatest engineering feat, in my view, of any aircraft at any time was when they built the SR-71.
Our visitors are really drawn to the SR-71 Blackbird, which you see here behind us. It's a real crowd pleaser, and even 20 years after its operational retirement, it still has quite a legion of fans and followers.
It's kind of sick compared to these new aircraft, though, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't think so.
I flew that 3,000 hours. I flew it all over the world. I can't believe it's another life. It's not real. Isn't that funny? I had to see it because I spent so much of my time with it. I remember all the buddies that we lost. Things that brings back tears to me because I'm reminded of the human experiences, which are the ones that, to me, have been most lasting, more than the experiences in the aircraft, actually. But it was a big part of my life. 4.5 years I lived in this thing. I had to see it.
Tucson and the rest of southern Arizona are known for their great cultural diversity, and tonight we bring you an example which combines different musical traditions from around the world to create eclectic new sounds.
Something from the other side. These are great. The wall of guitars.
Wow, this is like a great grandpa. Wow.
Well, this was my old place of employment. I worked here for a few months, and it's pretty inspiring to just come up here and see so much brass instruments. I think there's a pile of accordion. Yeah, everything you never wanted to play, you can find up here. I really think Chicago's store is a huge factor in why Tucson has this music scene.
On the moist grounds of Spain, there's a man deranged and a crowd the same. But when hunger strikes so painfully, there's a life you lead, El Torero.
been fun kind of discovering music from around the world, old like folk music, the Gypsy Balkan music and cumbia from Peru from the 60s, Chicha music, and they somehow all seem to just mesh so well. And this band's just kind of a exploration of how far we can go with bending all this stuff to fit together.
Oh, sing a song and dance a dance through the night, but there's a bull for every love and a prize in every fight. In this suit of lights, take this march of death, 'cause this is the blood, this is the soulless die, it's la cumbia del torero.
We've been really good at mixing like the cumbia sounds with like the Balkan kind of Eastern European sound. And then you throw in like some Tex-Mex which is just fun to play, and you get this whole different sound. And the great thing about our band is everyone's really open to exploring just new avenues of music. Everyone kind of has a say every now and then about what's going on, what path we want to take. So it's very an open, creative environment.
Gabriel, most of the songs, I mean, he pretty much just had them all down, and the idea was there. It was always an ongoing process, but when we were in the studio, it seemed to all come together, and there you have it.
The band was like, originally when we started it was 9 people. Over the last 2 years it's kind of changing here and there. Some shows somebody can't make it. It's a big group to, especially when everybody's playing in 5 bands. It's hard to get everybody at every show. We've kind of learned to work with what we have at times, and I think being able to play as a small group is really important. If you can't do your songs acoustic, I think you've got something wrong.
Tucson is such a great community for music. I mean, there's so many different styles of music being played in this town, and it's so fun to just mix up with everybody. Everyone's collaborative. Everyone looks to make some new music or some different group. It's a great community to be a part of.
That's what's so great. I don't think I could ever leave this place, is because the flow of creativity and the community is so natural, and just everybody can contribute to each other's projects and add their flavors, and before you know it, you have some new band that could only happen here in Tucson.
In tonight's video postcard from photographer and editor Matt Eriks, we give you a brilliant glimpse of the holiday zoo lights at Reed Park Zoo in Midtown Tucson. You can get more news and information on our website, azpm.org. To comment on any story you saw tonight, click on it online and go to the bottom. We can also be reached via Facebook and Twitter. Coming up tomorrow night, we'll introduce you to Helen Glass, who served our country during World War II, and a Tucson resident who was recently inducted as a fellow in the American Academy of Nursing will join us. You'll get to know her. I'm Tony Paniagua. From all of us at Arizona Public Media, have a great night.